everybody. Kenny Matthews, Jim Dent, Billy Martin Jr. again here with, all ball and no bull. Here again, picked 3 games against the NFL line. And last week, our first week here, our winner from last week is Mr. The Greatness of Jim Dent. He went 2-1 last week. Billy Martin and myself both went 1-2 last week. So Billy and I got some work to do here. But congratulations, Jim, on a winning week. And you called it. Money line Miami Dolphins. It should be 3-1.
Yeah, but I didn't mean to get the quarterback hurt.
Well, that was interesting last night, wasn't it? Woo.
Oh man, is that coach in trouble or what? I'm going to kick it off, Kenny.
Yes.
With the team I should have picked last week, Dallas Cowboys. I think the Cowboys, in spite of the fact of having a 6th-string quarterback named Cooper Rush. I think they're going to win easily. As a matter of fact, I'm making this my money line play. This is my lock of the week.
Jim,
The Dallas Cowboys and Jerry, it's my apology to you.
Jim coming out strong with the money line pick and the Cowboys to cover the 3
Yes,
points.
sir.
And Billy Martin, what would be your first pick of this round, I should say?
Well, I had that same pick.
I do. If I was a lean on that game, I really don't have a good feel for that. I know Washington was one of my stinkos from last week. So, when you lose with a team week before, you have a tendency to go against them the following week. So I might be in that same step. But I'm actually going to go with the Green Bay Packers as my pick, laying the 9.5 against New England. Now that Mr. Mac Jones is not going to be playing for New England, they don't have many I call stellar players as is on that roster, and now you're losing one at the most important position. I know Belichick will keep it close because he's a defensive-minded guy, but I'm not quite sure where the scoring's coming from. I expect Green Bay to play well at home this week and lay that big number. I think that's my pick of the week, Green Bay.
A lot of points, Kenny.
Yes, it is. I know. I know.
Kenny, you need to reconsider.
Hey, think about this. Think about Jimmy's pick of the week. Cooper Rush now won 3 games that were all come from behind.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty damn impressive for a backup.
For people just a month and a half ago were trashing around here in the Metroplex to get him cut off the roster permanently. He's kept their playoff hopes alive with Dak being done, that's for sure.
I mean, guys named Mahomes and Brady, they haven't done that this year. So, wow.
I read a stat, I think he'd be the first quarterback to start his first 4 games if he wins this week. To win his first 4 games since like 1950 something. Name's Otto Graham. Not bad company.
Wow.
Not bad company.
No.
Jim, why don't you give us their second pick of the week here for us here?
Okay. This is the Pat Mahomes Bowl coming up Sunday. Patrick Mahomes, if you watched him Sunday, he was one pissed off dude.
Yes, he was.
They were dropping his passes. They were not sustaining his drives. And I want to tell you something. Mahomes doesn't show it, but he's got a bad temper. And he's coming back. Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee this week. I think the Kansas City Chiefs romp and stomp and romp 41-7. And that is, as a matter of fact, I've got 2.
2 locks.
Count them.
2 locks.
2 games of the week. Kansas City kicking some balls.
I like the pick. I know that the public's all over Kansas City right now, Tampa Bay is getting a little healthier at the wide receiver position this week. Mike Evans is back, and Mr. Goodwin is coming back for Tampa Bay this week. Still, they got those major injuries along the offensive line that which still would kind of lean me to.
Well, they do, and you know what? They're getting their best receiver back.
Yep.
But I have not been that impressed with Tom Brady this season.
You know what? Tom Brady's one of those guys that if you have a little pressure up the middle, he becomes real ordinary real quick.
Yeah, he will. He'll bite you in the butt.
He does not. I like that chick. Mr. Billy Martin Jr., can we please have your second pick of the day?
Well, I'm going to take New Orleans, getting 3.5 points at home.
Boo.
I think the Vikings are going to get down to the Big Easy and have a little too much fun. And New Orleans is going to put it on them.
I think New
Plus,
Orleans.
they got a bad quarterback.
Yeah, well, New Orleans defense is really, really good, and that's, and now Cousins is on the road in another primetime game. You know his record already that's been, cited before. It seems like there's just something amiss with New Orleans. I know there was a lot of preseason hype with them, but I don't know what. I don't want to blame everything on Jameis, but is it really just him? I feel bad, but I really can't pinpoint anything else. Not sure. Just not sure about the Saints. But you know what? That's a good pick there, Billy. I got you.
Seems like they're starting to really come together second half for me. And 3.5 points.
They knocked them in the mouth. Hey, those Tampa Bay Buccaneers knocked them in the mouth 2 weeks ago. So, that's all you do need to know for sure. My second pick of the day is going to be who I still think is the best team in football, the Buffalo Bills. I know that they're going on the road. I know they're going to be at Baltimore. I understand all that. But the bottom line is this. I think that the Buffalo Bills will ratchet it up after last week, after the loss against Miami. And I think that they will beat the Baltimore Ravens at home. Ravens defense a little scarisome to me. We always think of Baltimore Ravens being a really elite defense, but if you looked at the numbers and the total yards they've given up here in the first part of the season, that's not an elite defense. Plus, they got some guys hurt in the back end. I think that Buffalo will ratchet. I think that they'll flip the switch and win in a shootout. Because heck, we didn't even talk about this. Lamar Jackson had a wonderful game last week. Goodness gracious, what he did. But I don't think he can beat the Bills alone. So I'm going to take Buffalo Bills in my second pick. And then we'll go to Jim Dent, your last and final pick of this round here, Jim. And it's not a lock. You already had 2 locks. So is this another lock for us before you tell us what it is?
Well, I don't think the Las Vegas Raiders can lose 4 in a row. Do you, Kenny?
No, that was my last pick. So
Hey,
yes, I agree.
They're shitty. They're terrible. I had a girlfriend in Las Vegas dump me last week. I want the Raiders to lose because of her. Damn it.
So you're going to lay the 2.5.
I don't think the Las Vegas Raiders are bad enough to lose 4 in a row. Let's go with the Raiders. 1-3. Las Vegas Raiders after this week.
Somewhere Otis Sistrunk in his grave is saying salute to Jim Dent on the Raider pick, the greatest pick.
When was the last time you heard somebody pick against a team because his girlfriend dumped him?
Hey, I'll take any reason if it wins. I don't care, man.
And you know what? She really hurt me. Really hurt me.
I'll take.
So if I go 0-3 this week, it's her fault.
Hey, if the ex-wife wants to give me winners on a Sunday basis, I'll take them.
Well, I'm going to play contrarian to both of you. I'm going to take the Seahawks in 4 points.
Ah.
And, let them march into Vegas and give them another
All right. I've got the Raiders laying on Dallas Morning News today, 2.5 against Denver. Is that still right with you, Jim?
Yes.
Okay. Just making sure. And
hey, you know what, Kenny? Billy has been making these picks stone cold sober. I can attest that he has not been drinking, so he has no excuse.
Well, that's really not my third pick. I mean, I like Denver. That's not my fourth or fifth. I really take a Seattle.
Seattle.
I'm going to take Seattle for.
Seattle led us for 4. Gotcha. And you're going to take Geno Smith on the road and the Seattle Seahawks.
Yes. Geno.
You're actually getting 4.5.
I can convince you.
I like that one too.
When was the last time Geno was a favorite?
At West Virginia.
Yeah. Was he ever? Yeah.
Against Townsend State. I'm not a fan of Geno Smith, but hey, I'm not gonna hate.
No, he was good in college.
Yes, he
Geno
was.
Smith was good in college. I don't know what the hell happened.
Yeah, he gave my beloved Sooners a run, that's for sure. Yeah, I wasn't mad he graduated.
Yeah.
And my final pick of it today would be the greatness, the black hole bunch that's now residing in Vegas. I'm with you, Jim Dent. You cannot go 0-4 in that division and have any aspirations of making the playoffs. I think that when you have a pretty talented roster, I like taking desperate teams in this mode, in this kind of month now, because you walk in that locker room the last 3 weeks on Monday and it hadn't been fun. It's time to kind of get off that schneid. I think this is a make or break game. I said that last week though, and the Raiders lost. So I know it sounds like I'm repeating what I said this time last week, but that's a talented roster. For them to be 0-3 is really a surprise to me. It really is. I just don't get it. It's kind of like Houston being competitive. They don't have a talented roster. How are they been competitive so far? I don't understand. But I will go with Derek Carr and Mr. Adams and think that they're finally going to get on page with Mr. Waller and the crew over there and finally have a breeze game. The Raiders play nothing but close games. I mean, it's. I went back and looked at the stats. There's not many blowouts the Raiders play in one way or another. They play pretty close to the best. But I think it's about time for them to get started. So I'm going to take the Raiders laying a 2.5 against the Denver Broncos in that great arena.
Good pick, Kenny.
Yes,
I'll defend you on that one.
Well, hey, I look at it this way. Let's get some winners in this week. Guys, I really appreciate y'all giving me some time here this afternoon with my schedule being a little toss and turn here a little bit. I appreciate you guys working around that. We'll start taping earlier in the week next week. So just in case we have some Thursday night games, we're going to put on our picks that we'll be able to broadcast that out beforehand for you guys. So these 3 handicappers giving you a whole bunch of locks here, guys. Go make some money, man. I appreciate you too.